Hello, Eric Walzakowski here, CEO of Bespoke Partners and host of our new LinkedIn vodcast series, talking about all things private equity talent. Today, my guest is Tess Fischer, who leads our go-to-market practice at Bespoke Partners. Welcome, Tess.
Thank you, Eric. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well. One of the things I wanted to do, and I'm hoping that we might be able to do this quarterly, is I want to talk about what's going on in go-to-market things, talent, and the current market trends. But what I wanted to hit you on today is give me an overview of the go-to-market practice.
So as head of our go-to-market practice, I oversee all of our sales, marketing, and customer success roles. And there are really 3 partners, myself included, in our practice. And at any given time, we're working on a couple of dozen searches. You know, based on our research, there are over 75 go-to-market titles in B2B software. So the scope and the reach of the go-to-market work that we're doing really varies. For example, in sales executive roles, you may have a CSO, a CRO, a chief commercial officer, a VP of sales, a head of North American sales. It really varies. And that's one thing that I think we all really like in the go-to-market pod is that we're often consulting with our clients. We're helping them in the org design. What should the titling, the scope, and the breadth of each role really look like? And then we really hire for that specific need, not only for now, but as the company grows and executes on the investment thesis.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we would all agree that's one of the best parts of our job is how closely we get to advise our private equity clients and their portfolio companies. Today is a really interesting time in the market. We've got this turbulent time, some might call a looming recession. Some may say that there's going to be no recession. But what are you seeing right now in terms of market demand for roles in go-to-market?
Yeah, there's certainly intense scrutiny on executives that have a lot of influence on growth. And nowhere is that scrutiny greater than within sales and marketing and customer success, all of those that are tied to revenue that make up the go-to-market category. We've really seen a lot of recent trends in terms of up-leveling CROs and other sales leaders whose primary focus is, really on expansion of revenue and renewals. We really have seen that in these headwinds, sales leaders that are best suited to take the company forward, continue to drive growth, and it's really a focus on profitable growth. And we see that in other functions as well. So our market tracking shows that CROs and other sales leaders are the first to be overturned when the markets become turbulent. And many times, and I thought this was really interesting, the changes are self-deselection. Some leaders just don't like to function in these environments, and they're not the ones that know that they can really, bring the company forward with capital-efficient growth.
No, makes sense. So, I mean, when you look at the demand for leaders, sales folks that know how to grow through turbulent times, focus on that profitable growth, how are you seeing the supply side of the market? Have things eased up a bit, and are you able to find top talent?
We're still able to find top talent. We're still in a candidate-driven market. I think we're going to do a lot of conversations with our clients, and they expect there to just be an abundance of candidates. And it's true that we have more candidates available in the market today, in part because of the slower market that we talked about, but also because candidates are more open to hearing about opportunities. Maybe their investment thesis timelines have restarted, they've been extended, and so people are taking calls. But our clients at the end of the day are still seeking to hire that top 10%, those, that are really, again, going to be able to drive in a capital efficient way. And so there's this imbalance, and it's still tilting in the favor of the candidates.
Makes a lot of sense. And I think we're seeing that across the firm right now is in today's market where folks might be underwater in their current equity packages. People are more willing to take calls. But as you said, I mean, our clients demand the top 10%. Which, lucky for us, we have a strong reputation. And so when we make that call, the executive knows that there's a strong PE firm on the other end of the line there. Given the tightness of the overall market, what are you seeing in terms of comp trends?
Yeah, again, because it's a candidate-driven market, we're still seeing candidates demanding high compensation, especially on the CRO and sales leader front. They want an increase in cash compensation. They're not really willing to take a step back in cash. And And our clients are still somewhat expecting a calibration to take place. We saw such an inflation in compensation for CROs specifically, but all go-to-market leaders in that 21, 22 bust when there was a lot of demand for the talent. So, compensation still feels high, I'd say, across the board, especially for proven candidates. And most candidates are also asking a lot of questions. They want to really dive in and understand how their bonus is going to be achieved. Can they overachieve? When will it be paid? And also probing into equity mechanics, again, because there's a lot of people that took jobs a couple of years ago and are finding out that, perhaps the actual earnings aren't as it was painted for them in the offer negotiation. So there just feels like there's a little bit more questioning and scrutiny on the candidate's part to really understand how they're going to be compensated.
No, absolutely. And that makes sense. So look, we've talked about the demand for roles. We've talked about the supply. We've talked about the compensation to get it done. What would you say we're actually seeing in terms of trends of actual placements, people who are accepting the roles?
Yeah, we're still seeing step-up candidates get placed. They still make up about 40% of our placements. Like I said, there's still cases where we, really are focusing on hiring a proven sales, marketing, or customer success leader for the experience. But clients are willing to wait for those candidates. And so, I think the step-up candidate is still a strong horse in the race. But sometimes we're, again, just seeing an extension of the timeline to wait for that proven. I'd say in terms of geography trends, we get the question a lot, has relocation come back? The answer is no, but we're certainly hearing more of a preference for geo. So, for example, and we see this a lot on sales leadership roles, it's not that the person has to relocate to Dallas, but if the team is in Dallas, they need to be there and be hands-on with some of these more junior sales leaders. I think COVID came and everyone enjoyed working from home, but especially again on the sales side, there's a need for leaders and their teams to get out and be in front of customers, to be with each other. And so we're seeing more of that presence needed and focused in our requests. Oftentimes they split it up, for the country, whether it's Central Time Zone or Eastern Time Zone. So there's a lot less focus on a specific city and constraining the search to one geography. But generally speaking, they're going to look for that in-person time. And then finally, I'd say diversity, something that we always place as a priority, and it's still a paramount topic for our clients and their teams. In go-to-market, we hear the request for focusing on diversity most if they're replacing a diverse candidate. So to keep that balance across the executive leadership team. And unfortunately, there's still less diversity in that proven candidate flow based on some of these themes that we've talked about. But we're still seeing the demand for diversity hold strong.
Makes a lot of sense. Tess, I really appreciate you taking a bit of time here to give us that mid-year update on what's going on in all things go-to-market talent. Since we're such a people-driven culture and people-driven business, one of the things I do like to ask, and this will be a trend going forward, is tell us something fun fact that we might not know about you.
Oh, well, that's fun to talk about. Interesting question. We've spent a lot of time out on our boat this year. It has been over 100 degrees in Texas for, I think, almost 50 days this summer. So no longer is the pool viable. We can't run our AC enough, but we've really enjoyed as a family to be out on the boat. And my kids were very surprised to see me out there slalom skiing. I grew up skiing and love the slalom, and they're still making me, get behind the boat and try the wake surfing. But deep at heart, I'm a slalom skier.
Outstanding. Well, Tess, thank you so much for the time today. Look forward to having you back next quarter.
Thanks, Eric.